Hey there, Tundra Nation, and welcome back to the chaos that we call a YouTube channel. Now, it's been a hot minute, or a month, who's counting, since our last roast, and my writers have completed their court-mandated anger management classes and are eager to use all their new emotional tools to express their complete disappointment with the guns you guys are posting in the Tundra Tactical Discord. So sit back, schedule a meeting with your therapist, and let's start the show.
America!
Getting right into it, our first submission comes from Gansei Commando. What in the heck is this moldy cheese looking Call of Duty paint job? The Benelli M4 on your screen right now, folks, looks like a group art therapy project at the special school made by the colorblind kids during a power outage. This Italian work of art has been more sprayed and sponged than your grandma Ethel at the old folks' home's Christmas party. Now, I guess it's a good thing you didn't spray that one area that's gonna have the Velcro and those brightly colored shells attached to it. You somehow managed to make one of the best combat shotguns of all time look homeless. As you guys well know, nothing here on Tundra Tactical is safe, except of course the sponsors of today's video. VaultPro, proudly manufacturing the finest American-made safes, vault doors, safe rooms, and storm shelters. When you guys buy from VaultPro, your safety, security, and privacy is their only priority. VaultPro has never and will never release your information to another party. And by PWS. PWS is now offering their advanced BDE suppressors in 4 caliber options: 7.62, 9mm, 22, and 5.56. These suppressors offer revolutionary sound control, all while remaining lightweight and tough. Easy to clean, easy to install, and easy to maintain, these suppressors will make shooting even better than it was before. Click all the links down in the doobly-doo. Click them. Next up, we have a gem from I Blow Fat Clouds Bruh Vape Nation. And by gem, I mean a cry for help. Clearly showing off some unresolved childhood trauma buried deep in his subconscious, he has posted this Remington 1100 with a side of toe jam. Folks, this has got to stop. I mean, based on the carpet here, you're currently living in a conversion van parked in your mom's driveway, you know, so you can still use her Wi-Fi and Netflix account. You rattle-canned shaggin' wagon onto the side panels after attending a Tony Robbins motivational event to create your own reality. Technically, it did work because a pair of amorous raccoons break in every single winter to shack up and give birth on the front passenger seat, leaving that van with that nice musky aroma. Pro tip, just because your carpet has a 10-year warranty does not mean you should only vacuum it once every decade. But the real cry for help here, well, it's the choice of a 16-gauge shotgun, a caliber even less relevant than a eunuch in a New Orleans bordello and all of the members of NSYNC not named Timberlake. I'm gonna go ahead and treat this shotgun the same way I do those kids on milk cartons and just forget they ever existed. Here we have Zookfly posting his Ruger Mini 30 with a Vortex Crossfire 2 mounted on top of it in a Walmart clearance sling. Now, I think the Crossfire might be a little bit too much on this since the series has proven to be one of the least accurate platforms for the 5.56 round, and it just so happens it's chambered in 7.62 by 39. I mean, there are videos online showing the barrels of the mini-series guns whipping back and forth after every shot more than the first time your wife ever wore a strap-on. Alright, this next one's wild. In one of the most hideous conversions I've seen in a while, JWAJ 2002 posted this MechTech 45 ACP 1911 rifle upper on a Garbo ATI 1911 lower. This picture is so ugly, but had you just laid it down a little further to the left in what appears to be a pile of garbage, it would have been perfection. He says to ignore the rust because they'd both been in a fire recently, but it must be hard to explain to the wife why you chose to rescue this from the flames rather than the family poodle. Buddy, I'm here to tell you, get those matches out and try again, because no words I can say about this thing would be a hard enough roast for what it deserves. A random deleted user posted this thing a while back. It consists of a Shadow Systems MR920 and a PSA AKV with an EOTech 516 on top of it. He rounds it all off with an ASP baton. Now, the baton isn't tactical. It's for when you need to beat that AKV back into working order. Ask me how I know. The proper way to fix an AK is the same way to fix anything communist that isn't doing its job. Beat it, and then tell it to go stand in line for bread. You spent all that money on a Shadow Systems gun and an EOTech on top of a VTS knockoff to just still have 9mm groupings that look like 12-gauge buckshot at 60 yards. My guy, I bet this picture spent at least 3 months as the lock screen on your phone. The only thing more cringe is calling this your personal crisis intervention kit. Answer me this. How much did it cost for you to attend the John Correa Active Self-Protection Seminar where you picked up that lingo? Or did you cheap out like you did with this setup and go with the Detroit Urban Survival Training class held over Zoom? Be honest with yourself, buddy. The only crisis intervention that you're going to be a part of is the one where your family tells you to stop playing scratch-offs with the grocery money. Here we have a serious precision rifle from Performance Firearms channel. This alpha shooting sport rifle has an Arca rail, a gold flat trigger, and a beefy US Optics B17 scope. But it has one major flaw: the 224 Valkyrie chamber inside of it. The people who are still trying to keep that round alive and relevant are the same people who insist that ska is good and their fish cover band is about to make it big. Outside of fish, I love both those things. Our friend Performance Firearms channel continues this ode to obsolescence when, upon closer examination, you see he's paired that 224 Valkyrie with a key mod rail. This pairing has all of the markings of a sommelier trained at the finest Olive Garden in Denton County, Texas. And after seeing these two things put together, all I ever want to hear from you, buddy, is here are more breadsticks, sir. Aggies Cowboy Guns graces us with his custom-built AR-15. Oh boy, let me grab my notepad so I can write down the groundbreaking parts list of this gun. What's that? It's all Aero and PSA parts? Stop it, you're making my side split. Ha 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 ha. You must have really stretched your creativity during those holiday sales, picking out the cheapest and most basic parts. Calling this thing custom is like saying you've got a rare collectible because you found a penny from 1995. This thing is about as unique as a 35-year-old divorcee wearing Ugg boots in a suburban Starbucks mall. Gosh, would ya? You could waltz into any gun store and find a whole army of these clones complete with the budget-friendly Wish.com tactical light. So Aggies, congratulations. You've assembled the basic pumpkin spice latte of rifles. J-Radium posted this Century AK where I assume it spends most of its time on the workbench, surrounded by hammers, Dremels, and buyer's remorse. Your workbench, by the way, tells me that you are the Harbor Freight version of Tony Stark, and you're about as organized as a Chinese wave attack where the first bullet took out the bugler. You spend hours working on this Frankenstein 47, getting it to run just right so you can spend more hours at the range with some more AK autists, holding a dong you were never born with. Yikes. Ooh. Here we have this Barrett M99 from Big Nick TX, and this is what happens when the lifted truck you leased does not compensate enough for you. But hey, thanks to that sparkling 800 credit score and your gig as the king of middle management at Costco, you can juggle the Cordova payments for both your monster truck and this behemoth of a rifle. Your wife's reaction when you first brought this thing home was that it reminded her to book another deep stretch yoga session with her instructor, Darren. Prairie Dog 308 posted this thing and said we can't roast it.
You're not my dad!
I'm not sure why he thinks we can't make fun of the preferred weapon of basement dwellers and prohibited possessors who only talk to women when at Second Life Ren fairs. The picture was nicely laid out, but folks, a recurve bow without a fedora is almost unheard of. He adds that this giant arrowhead can be added on if needed. Buddy, if you got to attach something like that to the tip, well, then that pig just ain't for you. You're better off grabbing some meat and heading home where you can get in online debates about the right amount of urine needed to tan the leather in your green Arrow Comic-Con outfit. Bringing us back to the world of reality, Grudy submitted this thing, I guess. He managed to take one of the top-selling American-made pump shotguns and make it look like an airsoft replica designed for the kid of Keltec's CEO. That right there, folks, is a Mossberg 500 in some jank anime wannabe looking bullpup conversion kit. This has all of the aesthetic of a punched lasagna being dropped in beach sand. Honestly, I'd rather watch every single Yankee Marshall video ever twice than look at this thing anymore. This is the type of thing that a FUD posts just to try to prove that he's not a FUD and likes tactical guns too. Just put the fishing vest back on and take the revolver down to an IDPA shoot at your local bar/range. When the Space Force was announced, Ambassador Pineapple was instantly inspired and thought he would have to bring his own rifle. After years of saving up and neglecting to finish any project around the house, he was able to put together his dream gun. What we have right here is a KE Arms carbine with a LaRue stock and a trigger topped off with a Zeiss 1:4 optic. He then took all the random colors of paint left over from the huffing parties that he attends and rattle-canned his rifle to fight off those aliens that keep abducting him. It just so happens to match the colors of the anti-alien probing device you wear daily to protect your no-no hole, but considering how far he's got his head buried up his own no-no zone, it's a wonder he can fit anything else up there. He thought that all that color and chaos would scramble the alien signals, but nope. Those voices are still loud and clear. It's time to pull your head out of the galactic black hole and realize your space-themed rifle looks more like you're on the tactical team protecting a Brony convention than anything space-themed. Subscribe.